most major event ever in terms of events held in the Khanty-Mansiysk autonomous region. The 4 years that we spent for the most part preparing, well, that was organizing the charter flights, it was maintaining links with all the foreign delegations. There are, after all, about 160 of them that we were overseeing. So there was accommodation and finding a location for the preparation of the Congress and the Olympiad itself. Over 1,000 people were involved in the preparations for the chess Olympiad, including student volunteers who've worked as translators and supervisors for the foreign delegations. This Olympiad set records not only in terms of the quantity of participants. For example, a record was set for the construction of the Olympийская Hotel, where participants in and guests of the Olympiad stayed. It was built in just 14 months, and it meets all the modern technical and convenience standards. The first and main sphere of activity in all this was the construction of the hotel complex, which allowed us to accommodate a large quantity of participants at the Olympiad. The transfer system is also very well coordinated. Buses depart from the hotels at specific times, bringing participants to the competition. The hotel complex comprises 2 linked 13-story buildings. The sportsmen were put up in comfortable single and double rooms, or luxury suites. There was a spa centre at their disposal, in which a professional masseur was on hand to relieve the stress built up during the course of a tense day. In addition, the hotel has been equipped with a gym, fitted out with high-tech sports machines, allowing guests to stay in shape. There's also a Wi-Fi zone on the ground floor where players can analyze their games on the web, study the tactics of potential opponents, and comment on games. The 2 vast restaurant halls at the Olympийская can cater for all of the participants in the competition staying here. The menu presents almost all of the world's cuisines. We try, of course, to take into account guests' tastes. We're slightly adjusting the menu that we agreed in advance with FIDE. We're taking into account the colour and character of the north. We have wonderful fish here. Muksun whitefish is really popular. During the 39th World Chess Olympiad, which took place in Khanty-Mansiysk, the teams had 2 free days when they could rest from their encounters, analyse the strategy used in their games, or simply catch up on some sleep. A chess player can lose up to 3 kilograms in weight during a game, and that's without even mentioning the incredible mental stress they're under. We had 1 day off and we walked around the town. We took a good look at the town and walked through the park, sat in a cafe, and had the chance to get some rest from chess. To be honest, during a tournament, especially a serious and complex one like the World Chess Olympiad, you have almost no free time. Luckily, though, we had 2 days off, and on one of them we walked through the centre of Khanty-Mansiysk. Tomorrow will be the 2nd day off, and I think we'll have an even better time than on the 1st. I'm planning on sleeping for maybe 20 or 25 hours. That's the plan. Well, I'm kidding about 25, but having a good sleep is right up the top of the list. We tried to get some rest. We stayed in the Yugorskaya Dolina Hotel. It's got a very good spa complex and a banya as well. The hotel that the top players stayed in is located out of town, in a beautiful setting among ancient cedars and pines. It's called the Yugorskaya Dolina, or Yugor Valley, and highly placed individuals are frequent guests. The unique architectural appearance of the hotel results from its harmonious combination of the traditional motifs of the local Khanty and Mansi people, and modern construction solutions. The Yugorskaya Dolina complex comprises 5 linked wings and 234 comfortable rooms. hotel has 3 restaurants featuring menus that present European dishes as well as traditional Siberian cuisine. The services at the wellness center in the hotel complex provide a range of healthcare procedures, a massage salon and a gym, including therapeutic mineral water baths and a Finnish sauna. One of Khanty-Mansiysk's most popular attractions is the archaeological park, with its famed Animals of the Ice Age sculptural composition. It's located at the foot of the Samarovsky Heights, a unique natural monument of the Yugra region. I'd been occupied with the animal kingdom for 5 years. It was interesting for me to encounter models of animals, and animals that are largely non-existent nowadays. There are lots of places in the Khanty-Mansiysk region where the remains of mammoths and human settlements have been found. So this is a place that could really be the beginning of an interesting project. I think that time will pass and people will be interested and come here. And it will really become one of Khanty-Mansiysk's main brands. I think that this brand is just going to strengthen over time. The interest will certainly grow. The Olympiad in Khanty-Mansiysk has opened the door of many cultural and entertainment centres, and excursions to museums and galleries have been organised for visitors to the city. In their free time, the players visited the regional picture gallery, which presents works by renowned Russian masters of the visual arts, such as Rakotov, Tropinin, Repin, Aivazovsky, Surikov and Levitan. You can see the popularity of chess in the variety of shapes and materials that the sets are made in the conserving heat in the winter and coolness during the summer. This town pays a great deal of attention to education in chess. Yugra is one of the first regions in Russia where chess was introduced as the honoured artist of Russia Nikolai Buturin in 1999. The design features motifs taken from northern architecture, such as the domes of churches and bell towers. Undoubtedly, another of Khanty-Mansiysk's attractions is the recently opened Chess Academy, the first of its kind in Russia. The building was designed by the Dutch architect Erik van Egeraat. Its construction employs modern, cutting-edge technologies. For example, the building's facing acts like a thermos flask, preserving heat in the winter and coolness during the summer. This town pays a great deal of attention to education in chess. Yugra is one of the first regions in Russia where chess was introduced as an additional education subject. The Academy's internal space has been divided into 3 levels with various multifunctional rooms. The interior employs modern designer concepts and solutions. The wall panels have been made from special woods, preserving heat within the premises, an important factor in the Siberian climate. Another bit of know-how in this building is its universal transformer rooms, in which 128 players can play simultaneously, and in which various types of events can be hosted. During the World Chess Olympiad, the Yugra Chess Academy played host to the 81st Congress and the FIDE Assembly. The The Congress brought together delegates from 170 countries who work in special commissions discussing a multitude of issues relating to the development and promotion of chess. The International Chess Federation, FIDE, is a sporting organization that unites national chess federations. It was founded on July 20th, 1924. There are 15 FIDE commissions. They hold sessions on all aspects of this chess federation, which unites 170 countries. We have a commission that works on the teaching of chess in school. And there's also a very interesting commission that develops the rules and regulations for chess. The FIDE Congress unites all the chess federations on 4 different continents. On these autumn days in Khanty-Mansiysk, chess is everything. At the same time as the Olympiad, there's a competition for the Governor's Cup of the Khanty-Mansiysk Autonomous Region and a children's chess festival. This year we decided to hold a big, open tournament, which we allowed people without ratings or rankings to take part in. Even people without ratings, weak players, if they play well, then in their rating groups or in their nominations, they too can win prizes. The prize fund has gone up by a factor of 10. It was about 200,000, and now it's 1,700,000 rubles. The Children's Chess Festival gathered children from the Urals Federal Region. The competition is held between kids in 5 age categories, running from 10 to 18. Separate tournaments have been organized for very young players who are under 10. Chess is gymnastics for the brain. Children really love it. Children just love chess. The kids bring us lots of victories and awards, which they receive at all Russian and international level competitions. The 12th world champion, Anatoly Karpov, also plays an active part in the chess education of school children in Yugra. I've got a whole chess region here, the Neftyugansk region, where there are hundreds of children playing chess in my schools. In almost every town settlement, there's a branch of the school. And now we've opened a chess academy in Khanty-Mansiysk. That's also a continuation of the program which I began here 11 years ago. They really have turned Khanty-Mansiysk into a chess region. The main event for the young chess players was a meeting with the participants in the 39th World Chess Olympiad, with international level grandmasters and with the players of the Russia 3 team. In the breaks between rounds, the players answered numerous questions put by the school children. They too started playing chess when they were children. School children showed an interest in their biographies, the team's living conditions at the Olympiad Hotel, how they prepare for matches, and what the trainer's work involves. Firstly, to get the people I'm in charge of to the tournament in top form and through to its deciding phases. There's preparation for each concrete opponent, from a narrow professional portrait to a psychological portrait of the opponent, and on to predicting the composition of the team that the opponent will put up for the match, and of course, selecting the ideal composition of your own team to face the opponents. Chess, in an obvious sense, is an individual sport, and team tournaments like this Olympiad are exceptions. There's no general system here, and that's what the trainer's job comes down to. Knitting together the optimum order of the day for his charges, who can really differ, and at the same time preserving the team atmosphere so that the preparation runs smoothly. We know that chess's homeland is believed to be India. According to ancient legend, the man who invented the game asked the Raja, who loved the game, for what appeared to be a modest reward. The amount of grain the board would provide if 1 grain were placed on the first square, 2 on the second, 4 on the third, 8 on the fourth, and so on, until every square was covered. It turned out that the number of grains required was more than the whole world could provide. They say that this man had invented a new mathematical principle with his request, exponentiation. The game that the Indian ruler enjoyed so much was called Chaturanga. It received the name we know today when it reached the countries of the Middle East. From the Persian sheikh came the word Czech, or shach in Russian, and from the Arabic mat, meaning dried, came mate, shachmati in Russian. The quantity of variations and combinations on the chessboard really is measured in astronomical figures, 10 followed by 120 zeros. It's that astonishing variety that makes this such a fascinating intellectual game that's renowned around the world. Over the course of the game's history, which runs back almost 3,000 years, much has changed. The rules, the number of pieces, and even the way they move. With its distinct military character, chess became increasingly popular in medieval Europe. True, at one stage the Catholic Church believed chess to be an invention of the devil. Indulgence in the game was believed to be equivalent to drunkenness. For a long time the game was banned. However, common sense prevailed, chess was enjoyed by monarchs, the game went on to occupy a worthy place in the culture of human civilization. During the World Chess Olympiad in Khanty-Mansiysk, the Yugra Classical Concert and Theatre Centre recreated the atmosphere of the De la Régence Parisian Café, which in the 18th and 19th century was the centre of Europe's chess life. The establishment was visited by such luminaries as Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Denis Diderot and Napoleon Bonaparte. In France, long ago in the 17th and 18th centuries, there was a cafe where people played chess, where famed chess players, and generally famous people of the day, would visit. This cafe wasn't just the centre of chess life. In Paris and France, it was the centre for the whole of Europe, really. And we've created this club with that concept in mind. Chessboards on the tables, people can play. There are small concerts in the evenings, and there are films about chess. In this cozy, intimate cafe atmosphere, where there's no rush, time control or umpires, chess stops being a sport and becomes a cause for conversation and a pleasant pastime. The playing at the 39th World Chess Olympiad being held in Khanty-Mansiysk comes to an end at 8 in the evening. And that's the time when the Yugra Classical Concert Theatre Centre invites the participants in the chess encounters to relax to the sound of the king of instruments, the organ. Chess involves a great deal of concentration, of course, during the game and a lot of calculations. The same is true, really, in playing the organ. There are innumerous combinations and registers, but which one you should choose, which of them will enrich a given work or melody, that choice remains at the end of the day with the player. All the visiting organists are astonished by how light, how airy and how subtle it is, because the registered sound very beautiful in it. It's a very well balanced and extremely well set up instrument. The Concert Theatre Centre's organ was built by the German firm Johannes Kleis Orgelbau in 2008, and it was inaugurated on the 29th of February. The organ keys have been made out of mammoth tusks, which symbolize Yugra. In order to install the organ, additional reinforcement of the wall was carried out in the chamber hall. The instrument, after all, weighs 8.5 tons. A climate control system was also installed, which maintains the required air humidity. These changes also improve the acoustics in the Concert Theatre Centre's chamber hall. The Olympiad brings joy not only to chess lovers, but also to numismatists, or coin collectors. Especially for this event, the Bank of Russia issued a coin worth 3 rubles, made of fine silver, with 39mm diameter, commemorating the 39th World Chess Olympiad. Yugor's artists and craftsmen also made the contribution to this major event. The Olympiad will give us the name of the latest king of the chess world, and if there's a king, then there should also be a throne. And the event has one. It stands in the hall of the tennis centre, where the matches are played. Guests and participants love having their photographs taken on it. All of them want to feel what it's like to be king of chess. Alexander, tell us, what was the most difficult thing to do in the construction of this throne? Well, there wasn't anything really that complex in making it, although there was a lot of turning to do on it. It was difficult to cut. There was a lot of gluing. The most difficult thing was thinking up the idea. I play chess a little myself. Well, not a great deal. It was interesting for me, the whole procedure of awarding chess champions. So I researched it and turned out that there's no throne. There's a virtual throne on the chess Olympus, as it were. Olympus obviously being a mountain, but there's no chess throne. I've been on the throne for 15 years. What do you mean on? There is the throne. I searched, but I couldn't find any throne of that kind, so I thought I'd make one myself. That was a year ago, and I slowly got on with doing it. Well, what's a throne? Obviously, it's where the chess king sits. And what should be round the chess king? Guards, right? The guards here are chess pieces. They're standing up the way chess pieces are supposed to. There are several different types here. Here are the softest, that's cedar, there's fir, and the base is larch. The chair itself is made of larch, the sort that grows here locally. These arrows are made of birch. The wooden uprights are made of pine. And the horses, obviously, are also made of pine. And here I've made what's called a man's chair. It's a person who's been sitting at the chessboard all his life, but hasn't reached the top, right? He's worn out a lot of pairs of trousers in the process, and he's left his imprints there. You can just about see them. They've been left right there. So that's for the person who's earned it, but didn't make it to the summit of the chess Olympus. To this.